All signs in New York are pointing towards get this, victory for the socialist Zohran Mamdani, which I really can't wrap my head around quite yet. But this guy's a miserable candidate and just blatantly lied about 9/11. Listen.
I want to use this moment to speak to the Muslims of New York City. I want to speak to the memory of my aunt. Who stopped taking the subway after September 11th because she did not feel safe in her hijab.
Give me, really? You choking? These people are hypocrites, pathetic, filthy liars. Your aunt couldn't take the subway after 9/11? Zohran? Really? I lived in New York. Okay, sure. AOC had an absolute meltdown at Zohran's rally in New York. This might be her craziest clip in quite a while. Just look at the absolute madness in her eyes as she talks about representing basically everyone except for Americans.
Jews escaping Holocaust, Black Americans fleeing slavery and Jim Crow, Latinos seeking a better life, Native people standing for themselves, Asian Americans coming together in Queens, in Brooklyn, in the Bronx, in Manhattan, in Staten Island, in this country.
Manhattan. What? This one wants, this is just wants to run for president. I think she can actually run for president in 2028. Oh, don't think that these rallies, these big anti-oligarch rallies aren't about that, folks. That's exactly what they're about. That other guy from Chicago, let's go Brandon Johnson, one of the worst mayors the city or the country, for that matter, has ever seen, refused to answer a question about an illegal alien who attacked a woman in his city. Listen to this.
Well, the real Chicagoans that I talk to, that I communicate with, mostly black and brown, actually, tell me that you don't seem to know the difference between illegal aliens and real Chicago citizens. They feel that you are siding with the illegal aliens over them in their communities. And okay. Sadly,
William, let's get to the question.
Let's get to the question. The real question is simply this. I don't know how to make it any more direct. An illegal alien from Nicaragua grabbed a woman on the north side last week, bashed her head into the sidewalk, knocked her unconscious, and raped her. If that had been your wife, Stacey.
Okay, all right, we're not going to answer it. Thank you. Thanks, William.
All right. Would you want ICE to deport her?
All right. Let's move on.
Yes or no?
Let's move on.
Answer the question as a man. Not as mayor, but as a man. Would you want
thanks. Thank you.
And see, this is what they can't do. They can never answer the tough question. Remember, Katie Porter was asked the tough question, and with the interviewer, she just got up and said, "No, this is over. If you're going to keep asking me." Of course, that's what this is all about. These aren't supposed to be softballs. They're not supposed to be campaign events. When a reporter, we have a journalistic responsibility to ask honest and tough questions to get real honest and tough answers, not just highlight your strengths. Brandon Johnson, but he's got like a 7% approval rating. He can't answer a simple question. Would you deport an illegal who violently assaulted your wife and raped her? Would you deport? He couldn't even answer that question. Good luck, City of Chicago. Great news, everyone, though. Fake Obama woke up and decided he's ready to end the government shutdown. Isn't that great? Listen to Hakeem Jeffries on MSNBC lying through his teeth.
Well, unfortunately, in day 25, what we've seen is that Donald Trump has shown zero interest and Republicans have shown zero interest in reopening the government. Our view from the beginning, Leader Schumer, Senate Democrats, House Democrats, we've all made clear that we will sit down with anyone, anytime, any place, either at the Capitol or back at the White House, to negotiate a bipartisan agreement that actually meets the needs of the American people. But at the same time, we have to decisively address the Republican health care crisis because it is crushing everyday Americans, working class Americans, and middle class Americans.
Okay, here he said we're willing to meet Donald Trump and anyone at the White House to come up with a bipartisan agreement that, quote, meets the needs of the American people. That's exactly what the Republicans want to do. They want to meet the needs of the American people, Hakeem. They don't want to meet the needs of the illegals coming across the border who want free health care, $1 trillion more in health care to make sure that those folks get health care. Do you get it? The American people, that's who matters. That's who you represent. You don't represent illegals in your district. I don't care if you think you do. You don't. The Constitution says you don't. More from MSNBC. Scott Besson absolutely torched the media narrative. Listen.
Why did President Trump have to meet with Democrats? Democrats just need to go into the Senate and vote to end the shutdown.
But President Trump has said in the past, it's up to the president. 52. He's the president. No, he said that in the past. He said you have to be a leader. The president has to lead. You have to get people into a room. You have to get a deal. When's he going to do that?
Well, he is leading, and there's no deal to do with Chuck Schumer. Chuck Schumer is trading off his polls. What's different than when he passed a clean CR in the spring? It's his polls. You know, the whole country's being held captive to AOC's polls.
I honestly believe the longer this lasts, the more, I guess, perceived pain that happens because EBT cards, as of November 1st, won't be re-upped. The more pain it inflicts on the Democrat constituents, the more likely they're going to come to the table for a deal. So personally, it's hard, it's tough love, so to speak. Keep it closed and let them come hat in hand and change their mind and say, you know what, we're not going to pay for illegals health care, so let's get a deal done. Gavin Newsom, governor of California, just dropped an absolutely moronic quote about Republicans. Listen to what old slick-haired Gavin had to say.
The hell is going on in this country? And the Republican Party's nowhere to be found. Ronald Reagan's rolling in his goddamn grave. I sit in Reagan's desk as the former governor of California, rolling in his grave. The hell is going on in this country? So people need to speak up. And the richest, most powerful human beings are doing exactly the opposite.
Crazy.
Back to the damn knee pads. And so that's why I'm here. That's why I'm doing the social media. That's why I'm doing Prop 50. And it's not enough. I mean, it's got to be all of us standing up.
Knee pads? What does that mean? Gav, what are you talking about? Hakeem Jeffries went on CBS, put his foot right into his own mouth. Listen to fake Obama talking about the integrity of our elections.
I want to ask you about something you said. You said Democrats, there are no election deniers on our side of the aisle. You said that back in January. But recently, you've been using the term rigged elections in reference to the upcoming midterms. Democrats were appalled when President Trump used language like that. How do you justify using that now? Doesn't that undermine faith for voters? You need to show up.
No, I've been using that term in the context of Donald Trump's unprecedented effort to gerrymander congressional maps in a partisan fashion all across the country in order to rig the midterm elections and deny the ability of the American people to actually decide who should be in the majority as it relates to the House of Representatives.
You know, Democrats are also going through gerrymandering and redistricting.
No. Well, Democrats are going to push back aggressively to make sure that we have fair maps across the country, not partisan gerrymandering, which Republicans have initiated in state after state after state.
I'm going to do something here. Like, obviously, we want to talk about Hakeem Jeffries and you know, all of a sudden that the term that they hated Trump using, stolen election, they're using, okay, that's the sub-headline for me. The real headline was, do you notice what that was? That was Face the Nation. That was CBS Face the Nation, Sunday show, wildly aggressively anti-Trump for the duration, for the last 10 years. 2 weeks ago, a lady named Barry Weiss was hired as the new head programmer on CBS, all of it. It oversees Face the Nation, oversees 60 Minutes. So CBS's Barry Weiss now is running the show. Barry Weiss used to be a New York Times reporter who went mainstream. She went down the middle, and she's been fairly friendly to Trump. So Barry Weiss comes in within a week. Margaret Brennan holding Hakeem Jeffries' comments to him, shooting them back at him. It's brilliant. I'm thrilled it's happening. But did Margaret Brennan just completely pivot to a different person because her boss is now less in favor of just Trump derangement syndrome on TV? Are these people, do they have no soul? Do they have no character? Good God, what is going on? The media is just disgusting. I'm embarrassed to be part of that, kind of. The Edge, this is something I'm proud of being part of. The Edge, by the way, no politics. The Edge is no politics. It's so refreshing to me. Take a look at this guy who broke his back, down on his luck, was eating tuna out of a can to survive, and now is opening his 8th mega gym in Nashville, Miami, Nashville. Watch. So
No, when I was in Miami, I'm broke.
You know poverty.
Yeah, no, right. I'm in broke in Miami. I'm not. I'm actually the interesting story. When I came down to Miami, my Nissan Maxima, both tires blew, and I didn't have money to get new tires, so I walked everywhere. And actually, I was in the best shape of my life. Then I was broke and I couldn't afford food, so I swear to God, I ate tuna out of a can from Walgreens and almonds every day. So I'd eat like 2 or 3 cans with a handful of almonds every day. This lasted for like 16 weeks, and I just kept stacking paper. I
call it the pro-bro zone because toxic masculinity is welcome here. Open up your camera, hit that QR code right there, a little yellow line comes across, press that, it'll subscribe you, never charge you a penny ever. I promise, just gets you to the top of the list when you open up looking for the show. It's on YouTube. Only on YouTube, no politics. I would love you to subscribe. YouTube.com, go there and it's at Eric Bolling the Edge. At Eric Bolling the Edge. Hit subscribe. Means a lot to me. Thank you for your viewership. Thank you for your support, because subscribing supports me and the show. It's a wonderful show. I appreciate your time. Thank you. Subscribe now. We will be back 2.5 minutes.